Hey everyone, welcome to the SearchNav support groups sync. We're going to talk about what we worked on for our iteration December 18th through the 28th, and our iteration that started the 2nd and is going towards the 12th. Just with the holidays and stuff, we're going to mash it into one. Carrie, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Um, so for this last iteration, I worked on finessing our demos for the code suggestions. So getting that, it's not anything visual, so I'm not going to share it, but it's getting our basically our storyboard together for our code suggestions and reviewing anything that Miracle had for the modal. And then for any of the downtime, because we had a code freeze, I worked on experimenting with a premium look and feel for our designs. So it's very experimental, but I can share what I've been working on. Um, so I'm hesitant to to really share it, but it's just take it with a grain of salt. It's just kind of explorations. So like a kind of like a dark mode, um, and then potentially with some gradients, and just kind of adding potentially more color into it as well, having more of the red and orange in here. Yeah, so everything is very just trying to make things a little bit more premium look. And that's about it. I'm gonna hand it off to, I'm not sure who's next actually. Um,
That's
do
me.
you have it? Oh, back to Megan.
Wait,
Sorry.
did you talk about what you're going to work on?
Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna continue working on the demos for this iteration. Thank you.
Yeah. For me in this iteration, or this past iteration, nothing I said I was going to work on. There's a lot of pivoting. But just to start that off, I've been covering for Lauren, and then there's holiday PTO. But one of the things I committed to is the privacy page translations getting into the CMS, and that is done. Um, the marketing site code lock over the holidays worked on like the planning, messaging, and execution of that. And then just today I shipped there's a bug where if someone came to our site and never used the language selector and they were seeing English by default, links were actually getting prepended with like French or German. So that's now fixed pending a nav release. The big meat and potatoes I worked on, we were experiencing some errors going out, kind of due to so many things. So Nathan and Laura might be talking about that in their demo videos, but where Nathan kind of took care of preventing errors from going out, my kind of avenue in that was if errors were to go out, how are we catching them and monitoring them quickly? So part of that was creating a Cypress automated test that takes in our sitemap, runs through every URL and checks if it's a 404. And in that work, found out that our sitemaps weren't working correctly. So that was a huge hit for SEO. And I'll actually show you. Um, our sitemap plugin wasn't bringing in any like child pages, so it was very sparse. So now what this does is when we create every page in our pipeline, it saves that and spits it in the sitemap. So now we don't have to regenerate. It's not repinging contentful. So that's a lot of stuff, but it works. I did the same thing with the blog. So that's a huge win there. As for this iteration, kind of some carryover into this iteration from the error stuff. But on top of that, working on a solutions page that lost its formatting on the localized stuff, and then migrating the install content. That's going to be a big one. Um, and then I think that's really it. I'll pass it off to Tammy.
Thank you. So this is last iteration. I finished migrating the company page content for Contentful. I mean the localized content. And also the sales page. But the sales page, I'm only trying to fix a small detail because we are using the Mercado form on this page, and I didn't find any other page migrate that was using this same form. So I'm just doing some stuff to make it work. And the company page is ready. I'm just talking to Laura because she migrated the English content and we had a really small CSS issue, but we are fixing it right now. After that, I am going to grab our small business page migration to Contentful. Since localized content is high priority still, I think I'm going to finish in like 1 day or two. So after that, I'll probably grab the issue for our partners page because we have a new layout for that. And yeah, this is what I'm going to work. And I will pass it, I think it's Miracle next. Yeah.
Thank you. So a lot of my iteration was focused on our redesign of our CI modal. There are a couple bugs that we had to fix. There's some new videos that or some new demo URLs that were added, and we're still deciding on where we want to go with that. I also had to, since I was the point of contact during our PCL lock, I had to fix a couple bugs that happened with Contentful, which involved me regenerating some of our API keys, as well as our CI variables. I also updated a section in our GTag script, and I fixed a bug with our Japanese forms. There was some English content that was showing up in all Japanese forms, and then I also translated the startups join form. And that was it for me for last iteration. This iteration, I'll be focusing on the CI demo still. Hopefully we'll be able to get that out this iteration. There are a couple other Japanese forms that are waiting to be translated that I'll be updating as well as soon as I get those translations. I'll also be updating our OneTrust server-side rendering, and then Noriko is out on holiday, and she is our translator for Japanese. I'm waiting for her to get back before I can finish our Japanese version of one of our pages. And I think that was it for me. I guess I'll pass it back to Megan.
Yeah, and just a note on Javi, he's been out for a while, and I know he has the CEO Shadow program coming up. So his iteration is very light, but it has to do with some translation migration to the CMS. I think that's all we have. Thanks so much.